Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Saturday, the 29th of July, 2023. We're producing our weekly gold and silver price update for the week ending the 28th of July. I'm producing this video in the port of Visby, just outside Sweden. And unfortunately, I do not have access to the normal recording equipment, and therefore apologize if the sound quality is not that great. And also, I do not have access to some of the other data that I would normally produce. Therefore, this podcast or video is going to be a little shorter than it normally is. Let's start with gold. Gold fell $2.61 last week, falling to $1,959. In sterling terms, it's £1,525. That's down £1.32. And in euros, though, it's actually up over 15 euros at 1,780 euros. But going back to the dollar, its high for the week was $1,982, and its low was $1,942, and it closing almost slap bang in the middle. Silver is down 27 cents at $24.35. It's been as high as $25.33 and as low as $24.07. In sterling terms, it's fallen below £19 at £18.97. That's down 20 pence. And in euros, it's almost unchanged. It's down just 0.01 euros or a cent at 22.14 euros. Now, the dollar index actually has risen and is now standing at 101.62. I'll explain the reason for that in a few moments. But before I do, the bad news is that Brent crude prices are up, as are WTI crude prices. Brent crude stands just shy of $85 a barrel, and WTI crude is $80.58 a barrel. Equity markets have held their own quite well, with the Dow Jones at 35,459, the S&P 500 at 4,582, the Nasdaq at 14,316, the FTSE index at 7,694. Bitcoin's down 2% at $29,296. Now, last week we had consumer confidence figures coming out, which were quite positive, in fact, 117 against expectations of 112. Then on Wednesday, the Federal Reserve raised interest rates by 0.25% or 25 basis points, so that the rate now is 5.25% to 5.5%. Jobless claims were down again, but the important information was the PCE figures on Friday. The month-on-month figures came in at 0.2%, both for PCE and core PCE, more or less as expected, but this has brought the core PCE figures down from 4.6 to 4.2 year over year. This is seen as very positive for the markets. However, we're not of the opinion yet that inflation has been combated, and there is a distinct possibility that we may still see another Fed rate rise sometime during the course of 2023. Now, this coming week, we have early in the week manufacturing PMIs. We then have the ADP employment report on Wednesday. We have services PMIs on Thursday and the all-important non-farm payrolls on Friday. The figure to watch for the non-farm payrolls is 200,000 jobs. Anything greater than that will put pressure on gold and silver prices, because it will suggest that the economy is still too robust, and anything less than that could perhaps witness a rise in equities as well as precious metals. So what do we see happening then this coming week? Well, we're moving into holiday season. The Fed has now already made its interest rate decision, and we're not expecting anything to happen now until September. Really, a lot will depend on the economic data as and when it comes out, and also any geopolitical data that we may encounter. Please bear in mind that during periods of holidays and limited trading, markets do tend to over or underreact simply because everything is accentuated as there are less dealers operating at the time. Just cannot get overexcited about gold and silver prices moving into the summer periods, and frankly do not think that we're going to see any major increase in either until it becomes reasonably certain that interest rates have now peaked, inflation has been combated, and the next move is going down. Equally, we do not envisage any major fall in these prices unless we are pretty confident of a recession and that interest rates are going to rise further. It may be a rather boring market in the very short term. As I've mentioned already, geopolitical news apart. So broadly, for this coming week, I'm expecting to see gold still trade between 1900 and 2000, with potentially 1875 as a outlier low and 2025 as an outlier high. Silver broadly going to trade somewhere between 23.75 and 25.25, with $23.26 as extreme outliers, but I'm not really again expecting either of the two to be hit, either at the top end or at the bottom end. The uneventful, unfortunately. However, let's see what happens with the job figures next week, whether they're just going to reinforce what we've already experienced this past week. Well, that's it for now. We are now coming to the end of this video. But first, before you go, I would appreciate it if you would give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, press the bell sign. Also, go over to our Finances Do Matter channel and subscribe there if you've not done so. We've placed links in both the description box below and in the comments section. On average, we produce 5 videos a week there, as opposed to 2 or 3 on the Illuminati Silver channel. Bearing in mind that I am away for these 2 weeks, some of those videos will be restricted or reduced, unfortunately, due to poor technology and internet connections. So, thank you once again. Have a great week ahead, a prosperous week ahead, and I'll see you soon.